Yo, 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 yo. What's good, everybody? This your boy, 005 Dynasty. I'm back with another video looking like Teen Wolf out this piece, but I have to, man. There's supposed to be another, like, snowstorm, like a blizzard, actually, hitting New York. So, gotta stay warm. Gotta keep the Viking look, you know? Anyway, so I got word back. I don't watch you guys' videos, man, because you guys be on some other stuff, man. But I got word back that somebody took a little poke at me, man. And they took a poke saying, like, you telling me? Something like on the lines of, like, you telling me this is not producing? On the lines of, like, making a beat. And then after they made a beat, you telling me this is not producing? Sometimes it can be a little frustrating to try to unravel, un, 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 to try to, like, pull out all of the negative information that you guys have been fed throughout the years, right? I've never heard anybody in my lifetime say, I produced this beat. I've never heard anybody say, like, this, I produced this beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I produce because they made a beat. I never heard anybody say that. I never heard anybody say, I produce this beat. Like, I produced this beat. I've always heard somebody say, I made this beat. I made this beat. I made this beat. You know what I'm saying? But not, I produced that beat. I'm just kind of confused because when I was coming up as a musical producer, and before I was a musical producer, I would sit in my room for hours on end. There's no internet, no YouTube, no outsourcing, no trying to figure this out. I just literally just sit there and try to figure out beat making on my own. And literally, where I have Legend come in the room and say, "Oh, it's almost done. Oh yeah, this is good or this is bad or start over, whatever, right?" Then when I go around the corner or I go to other locations, nobody said anything about me being a producer. Nobody. They didn't even know I was working on those beats because I was struggling trying to figure it out on my own. I would have to tell them, "Yo, I'm just now starting to make beats. I'm learning how to make beats. Yeah, I'm trying to make beats because I'm trying to help Legend out. I don't want him to have to rock over industry beats or have to search for other musical producers. I want to try to create his sound for him. I want to try to create that legendary team sound. I don't want him to, like, have to worry about the beats or, like, where his song ideas are going to come from. So I'm trying to make beats now. I'm learning how to make beats. The word producer or producing or produced never came up because I wasn't producing and I didn't produce anything. I just made a beat. I think people are really they're stretching. They're trying to stretch musical producer way more than what it really is. A beat maker is a beat maker. A producer is a producer. Do you not understand there's levels to this? I mean, levels. Like, everything has a level, man. Everything. If you're in culinary and you working under a chef and you're a sous chef, well, there's certain terminologies there that you can't claim because you ain't make it there yet. You didn't do that certain type of thing yet. So you can't become a 5-star Michelin chef at a restaurant and become a prestigious chef if you're just a sous chef and you ain't doing nothing yet. You didn't even know how to bake anything, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't produce anything. There's nothing that people can sink their teeth in about. Yeah, let's go give him an accolade or some type of reward or notoriety, some type of fame off of this. You have to take your beat and then produce with it. So then it becomes like this. I produced that. I produced that record. I produced that song. Not I produced that instrumental and nobody did anything with it yet. It didn't elevate. You didn't elevate nothing. You didn't go in there and produce. It's billions of beat makers, but it's only I mean it's billions of beat makers and there's billions of musical producers. But you have if you didn't do any producing, how could you like I think these people maybe these people might let me put it like this. Maybe these people might have produced a record. They might have produced a record already. So that would make them a producer because they produced the record. But they're trying to fight the notion that being a beat maker is being a producer. That doesn't make any sense, man. Not to me. Not to me. Like, are you trying to say in a literal sense you produce something? But that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb because that's not how life works. There's levels. Why do you think there's somebody up here and you down there? Like, there's levels to this. Otherwise, everybody's a musical producer. Not everybody is a college professor, but everybody goes to school and learn, right? So there's some people who are teachers, but they're not college professors. There's levels to this, man. To become a college professor, you really gotta know your stuff, man. To teach, all you gotta do is basically finish a couple years of school, maybe 4 years, maybe 4 to 6 years of schooling, and then you get thrown into the field to the wolves because they need teachers anyway, so they throw anybody out there. You can be a substitute teacher for crying out loud, but you're still a teacher, right? but there's levels to that, though. Some teachers get fired after their first week. Some teachers will never make it to be a college professor. They quit. They can't handle it. The path they take is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody can make it to that college professor. Not everybody can make it to be a CEO. There's levels to this, man. So when you sit there and you water down and you stretch the word producer so thin like that, that's disrespectful. So you're going to call everybody on YouTube is a producer now just because you made a beat. No, you're a beat maker until you become a musical producer. I mean, my God. To me, that's a simple logic right there. You can't take words at its literal face value when the world doesn't operate like that. If the world operated like that, then we'll all be everything, man. We'll all be, they'll say technicians of this and this and that. No, it's levels, man. So when I was working with Legend and Legendary Team, we had Stax Paper was one of the artists. A.O. Baker is another artist that was on the Legendary Team. He kind of switched his name a little bit, but yeah. Lady Legacy, musical producer under Legendary Team. I told her how to make beats. Young Fashion, rap artist under Legendary Team, right? And for a small portion of time, we have Reek the Villain on the Legendary Team, right? Small portion, I don't know. He's a solo artist, man. He does his own thing, you know what I mean? You can't cage him. But anyway, when I started making beats for Legendary Team, right? Nobody called me a musical producer. The only thing said like, yo, yeah, man, one day, man, you'll be able to make something for me. One day, you just keep working at it. You'll be able to produce something for me. If I was a producer at the time that I was making a beat, they would have never said that. They would have been like, yo, man, that production is crazy, man. Yo, where you produce now? They always say, yo, that beat is crazy, son. Yo, that beat's crazy. Yo, that instrumental is kind of dope, son. Let me rock on that. Yeah, let's go produce something. Let's go make something. Let's go create something. You guys got it twisted, man. When I made my first song with Legend, right? What's the name of that joint? What did we call it, man? I gotta think of the name. But it's not the single I'm from NY. That's not the song, right? That's not that single. It's another joint that I did. I forget the name of it. But anyway, the first record, right? So that first record, after I produced it, made the beat, went to the studio with Legend, helped with the creation of my first song ever. I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting in the studio and I was helping out, but I was still nervous, you know what I mean? And it was so crazy because Legend was coaching me like, yo, what do you think? What do you think, Lag? He called me Lag for short for Legacy. You know what I'm saying? You already know I'm formerly known as Legacy. You know, that was my first original alias and production name, producer name. Yo, what you think? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm in there like, yeah. But I always maintain a professionalism. Right? I'm saying like, I'm always a professional person in general. You know, so that part they could change in me. So I always have this demeanor. I have this mean demeanor. Like when I'm out and about, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? From all the things that I've been through in my lifetime. But anyway, so we produced the record. It's dope. It's fire. I mean, we take it and we listened to it in the car. I told you I got a video on that, like, you know what I'm saying, how to check your song and things of that nature. So we checking the mix of the song in the car, whatever. It's pretty good. So then we leave, we go. Now we start letting people hear it. One thing about Legend is so funny. He never really hit stuff. You know, I mean, there's certain things that are like unreleased because we never got a chance to let people hear it, or we was working on the project. But for the most part, we would let people hear it right away, man. So now we go to different spots. We start letting people hear it, and the first thing they said to me was, "Yo, Legacy, you produced that?" I'm like, yeah. Yo, do you know the feeling that comes over you when somebody says that? Guys, do you know the feeling that comes over you when somebody says, yo, Legacy, you produced that? And the feeling is shocked. And you're put into a new category right away as a human being. You're literally put into a new category, guys. Musical producer. And the thing that's so crazy, it doesn't have to be a hit record. It doesn't have to be multi-platinum status, diamond status, or whatever. It doesn't even have to make money. It's what you did in the context of the story. You literally produced a record with an artist. So that's the reason why I can sit here and say, when I see you guys on YouTube, or when I used to see you guys on YouTube, and the people are still watching you guys, and they bring me back the information, that you guys are not musical producers. You ain't produced anything. You made a beat. You're a beat maker. So now you're trying to totally negate what a beat maker is, or you trying to merge beat maker and producer into one saying? No, you can't do that. I told you guys, these people, they always want to change the narrative. It's like the guy who literally is two guys. One guy is I don't know, some form of Asian musical producer, and then the other guy, the gorilla looking guy, going to make videos talking about, oh, the musical producer is going in this direction. Or some video they made, man. I didn't see it, but I got information back about it. Music production is going in this direction. No, they're trying to spin a narrative. These people know that they could say anything to you guys and make you jump. What show was that? Movie, yeah. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. When he had a wife that they were trying to make him marry, and he didn't want to marry homegirl, right? He wanted to find his own love. But the chick would do any and everything that he said. And he said, bark like a dog. And she goes, ruff, ruff, ruff. And he said, hop on one leg. She's hopping on one leg. And then something else he said, there's a couple of things that he said, but I know she went walking out. She didn't walk out the room. She hopped out the room, barking and hopping. That's what you guys are. They know that they can say anything to you on camera, and just because they had a little bit of success in the past, that you would bend over and do anything that they say, and you'll take their word as for what it is. So if they say a musical producer is somebody who sits on YouTube and talks about product all day long, you're going to do it because you think that's what a musical producer is. Because of these people who are controlling your mental real estate, they're controlling your mind, they control the algorithm because they get views. The algorithm is only going to put videos out for people who get views. And the most people who get views are the people who lie. The people who real don't get views. The people who lie get the views because they're lying to you and your ego and to your emotions to make you love them so that they can continue to stay on top and get pushed. Everybody likes their stuff. Everybody shares their stuff. Everybody comments about their stuff. It's the go along, get along gang. It's all of you guys, man. It's the copy and clone generation. I stand tall and stand true on that, man. That's the reason why the copy and clone generation is actually verified on Google, man. It's a core terminology for Jamel Marshall Pearson, also known as 005 Dynasty, formerly known as Legacy, because it's a true statement. It's true. You guys want to feel comfortable all the time. So whatever this Asian producer and this other producer, the gorilla producer says, you guys are going to fight for them and fight because you want to feel comfortable because you're a part of the group. You're a part of their group. So I'm here to tell you that what they're telling you is lies. And I'm also here to tell you I'm not scared of any one of them, and they know it, man. That's the thing that's so crazy. If we were face to face speaking, I would shut them down so easily, man. Because I'm not going to be speaking on some like fake stuff. These guys come on camera and they speak. They're fake, man. I think they're fake every time they're on camera, man. They're just super duper fake. But they know you guys are so dumb that they could come and talk that way and make an impact. It's despicable. So I'm here to tell you, making a beat is not a musical producer. Just because you produce a instrumental, like you made an instrumental, like you know what I'm saying, in a literal sense of produce, doesn't make sense in the actual real world in the grand scheme of things of progression, levels, going from one step to the next step. So if you're a producer, what did you do before that then? So you mean to tell me, since if you literally, this is what you're trying to tell me. You go from being a regular, normal person that doesn't do any music, and then as soon as you make a beat and you do it on camera for YouTubers and for YouTube viewers, now you're a producer. So there was no step before that. There was no step before that. So literally, we're just eradicating and we're just negating beat makers now. There's no more beat makers. That's what you're trying to say. So you never learned how to make that instrumental. What steps, what process did you go through to make that instrumental? What is that called? So automatically, you just jump straight into producer. So are you trying to tell me when you're learning how to make a beat, that's producer? Where is the steps before you become a producer, man? Tell me the steps of a producer. Because if you think about it, guys, you could be a producer and don't know how to make beats. Make it make sense. You could be a producer and don't even know how to make beats. So now tell me, how does the person who never made a beat in their life, but they produced a song, now you tell me, how does that equate to that person being a musical producer of them sitting on YouTube making a beat? Because they never made a beat, they don't know how to make a beat, they would never go on YouTube to make a beat. So how does the person who doesn't make a beat, but they're credited as a musical producer because they produce a record, how does that come to be? How does that come to fruition? Like, how is that possible? Just bam, just boom, anybody's a musical producer? Think about it. There's levels to this, guys. How does a person who doesn't make a beat, doesn't know how to make a beat, will never sit on YouTube talking about beat this, beat that, mini chord packs, all that stuff, and they produce a record? How did they get there? And then the person who is a beat maker, who's trying to skip the step of a beat maker to jump straight to producer, how do they get to the producer spot before they learn how to make a beat? Because there's levels, right? Some producers start with being a beat maker first. Some producers start with having an ear and a knack for understanding how to put a sound composition together. So it's a different route, but they ultimately can end up at the same location, the same destination. It's just a different way of getting there because of how their bodies work, how their mind, their heart, and body and soul works. So it's a difference, right? But what are the steps? What are the steps you got to go through from a producer who doesn't make a beat and a producer who does make a beat? You know what I'm saying? Think about it, guys. Think about it. There's so many levels to this stuff. You can't just go straight into being a producer. So the person who doesn't make a beat, they still got to produce a record, man. They got to put the how. Maybe they're the person who calls the beat maker. You know what I'm saying? They got to have somebody. I mean, what are you producing unless you're just producing a cappella? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to produce an a cappella? You got to put a song together, so they have to know how to get the instrumentation done. And maybe it's from scratch. I mean, so many levels, guys. Maybe it's from scratch, but they got to call a pianist. They got to call somebody to do vocals, background vocals, to go along with the artist. I don't know, man. Maybe they got to call a ghostwriter. Some way, somehow, they got to produce the record, though. They got to get an engineer. They got to studio sound checks. They got to do recording engineer. They got to produce a record, man. And then when you're doing the instrumental, you got to produce a record. A lot of you guys be cutting corners and skipping steps too, man. The beat makers. They'll make a beat, and that's it. They put it on BeatStars, and then now they're saying they're a musical producer when somebody downloads their beat. You didn't produce a record, man. So you mean to tell me you, the beat maker, is going to walk into a major studio and you're going to be able to conduct a session because you made a beat in your 4x4 little bedroom? And you have no audio engineering skills. You have no real world music production skills. You never interned anywhere. You never went to school for anything. You just literally just got a device and started working on YouTube. So don't try to take shots at me saying like, oh, making a beat, and then at the end of you making a beat, you say that's not production. That's not being a musical producer. That's not music production. That's not no, it's not. As a beat maker, you didn't produce anything. Your production is lackluster at best. Nobody used it yet. So that's why the only reason why you guys have a little bit of a name is because YouTube came about. If YouTube was never a thing and you're sitting in your house making a beat, well, you just be making a beat to your goddamn self. Because nobody would know who you are until you get God out there and put in the work. You're basically trying to you're negating mass levels, man. You're negating the producers who actually put in that work many, many years. They had to go out there and get their stuff done. They had to get on the DVDs. The DVD era, the mixtape era. We got producers on Hood Legend DVD showcasing their beats. Yes, we were promoting musical producers back then because it was hard to get known. Even when MySpace was out, even when Facebook and those websites first started, even with AOL, it was still hard. And you needed street credibility. So, guys, just because you sit on YouTube and they try to say that YouTube music producer is the new way, doesn't make you a musical producer, man. That literally just makes you a beat maker, and you're hiding behind this whole YouTube technology now. This whole way that they're trying to push as the new musical producer. This is your boy 005 Dynasty. Don't forget to Google me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And my videos are just for history purposes, guys, and for people who have a brain, not the pea-sized, the bird brain people. Because my God, man, it's a bunch of just, oh my God, man. Being out here in the real world, you can see how many dumb people there are, man. There's a lot, and I mean, there's a lot, and I mean, there is a lot of dumb people. This is your boy 005 Dynasty. Catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day, man.